realized during this journey that we have a very high ego as moms. We don't like to be told how to raise our kids because we're doing the best we can. Yeah. So raising awareness, in a moment, it felt like I was going against moms or attacking moms, or whenever I made a comment to someone, it was like, we're all doing the best we can, or I don't need advice, etc. Right? So it was like the wall, because we all have like this protective wall. So for me, raising awareness, there's no better way than sharing your story and seeing the transformation that you, like being the evidence that this is not about criticizing a mom or telling her how to do a better job. It's just about accepting that we all need help.
Okay, so hello and welcome everyone back to the Fearless Woman podcast. My name is Sophia and I'm the Fearless Spiritual and Confidence Coach. Today I'm joined by a beautiful soul who will share a little bit about her story. Her name is Lee Ann and I'm happy to host her today, so welcome.
Thank you, Sophia, so happy to be here.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. So my name is Lee Ann Lopez. I'm from Honduras, born and raised over here. I'm specialized in moms, so I do coaching for moms. I'm a coach of moms. That's how I define myself. And I'm also an entrepreneur. I run a few businesses here in my country, mother of two. And I would like to see myself as a student of life.
Ooh, how do you do
that? Life throws things your way all the time. So I guess in a period of my time, I just decided to not know everything as I did before and just see what life brings up and continue learning about it and how to live in a better way.
That's a beautiful attitude to have.
Thank you.
One more general question. What does fearless mean to you?
Well, doing this interview, for example. But I usually think of fearless as the moment that you recognize the feeling or the emotion of being in fear and being able to take action despite of it. I believe that is fearless for me.
You said it beautifully. Okay, so a little bit more about yourself. What brought you to the coaching field and why did you choose your specific niche?
Well, actually it was by accident, as I think it happens to all of us. I started like a healing journey without knowing it was a healing journey. I was going through a divorce and I started to see my kids having trouble with me and my reactions, and I couldn't serve them from the place I wanted to serve them. So that was like my moment of awakening. I started working on myself without knowing how it was or how it was supposed to be. And one thing led to another, and when I found the coaching industry, it was like the best place to serve from when you acquire the knowledge and the tools to serve others from a place where you're in a good place, actually. So that's how it got me there. And my niche, I specialized in moms because after trying different niches and trying to see if I was aligned with any of them, actually, if being a mom was what brought me here, then that was the way I could serve others through my coaching and being specific about all the struggles that moms have while raising our kids.
Wow, it's a beautiful message. And I love that what you said is so true. A lot of us coaches, we come from a place of healing ourselves, but then realizing that serving others is what can heal us too, or even further. And it's a beautiful, beautiful way. So when and how did you discover your purpose, and what was your biggest obstacle in getting there?
Well, but my purpose in the beginning, it was my kids. It wasn't about me. But during the journey, I discovered that I couldn't serve if I didn't start by myself. So I turned my purpose into healing myself in order to be able to help others heal and have a good relationship with their kids. And the obstacles I found, I believe, are the normal ones. Discovering that to be different, you have to act different, speak different, and like move away from the normal lane that you've been taught to be in as a mother, as a professional. And when you start acquiring all this knowledge, actually, I think my biggest obstacle was accepting the fact that I had to be different. And that's kind of scary because you don't know who are you walking away from or what things you're walking away from. So acceptance was the biggest obstacle I think I faced.
Wow. You were, this is not part of the script, but just curious, you were now speaking of like past obstacles. Is there any obstacle that you're facing right now that you'd like to share?
I think it's my continuous search for increasing self-love, like increasing it by the minute. You know, it's easy when you say acceptance, self-love, choose yourself first, but living it in a day-to-day basis and being aware that you need to work on it for you
Yeah.
to get there,
Yeah.
that is my present daily obstacle that I try to face.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. And I think it's something that we all struggle with, especially from a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and it's not spoken enough, you know, because
Sure.
these themes are usually hard to share, which I think is another obstacle that we face, especially as women and moms, because we're supposed to do everything just the right way and be perfect and fulfill everyone's expectations.
Yeah.
And then when you're an entrepreneur, there's more expectations, but you still have to fulfill the mom expectations where everything has to be perfect. So talking about it makes it hard because it would mean that you have something to work on because you don't know how to be a mom when actually we actually don't know.
Yeah,
We're just learning as we go.
yeah. But I just had a thought that, for example, that when you say you struggle or like it's a challenge for you to every day get into the topic of the self-love, where do you think that comes from? It's your self-love speaking, right?
Yes, it's been quite a journey. I have a few coaches myself.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just acting, it comes to a moment of reflection every day. Like when you feel, you know, the insecurities kicking in or certain fears, or when I become doubtful of taking the next step, that's when I catch myself.
Yeah.
And I know that there's something in there that comes from the past, probably, and that I have to work on that specific thing. Say, family issues, ex-partners issues, or just the way you were raised, or the culture and society I was brought into.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Was there any moment or phase in your life when being fearless was the only option for you?
Yes, a lot of them. I believe
Yeah.
every time I have to choose myself, and it goes back to the self-love and acceptance part.
Yeah.
Every time that I have to choose myself, I have to be fearless in order to be able to take that decision and go for me first
Yeah.
instead of the others.
Okay. And what because your definition of being fearless first meant like um you're you're scared of it but taking action anyways, right? So
Yeah.
in terms of this now, how would you explain that? Well,
Yeah,
what
that's
do you
yeah,
think?
it's a hard one. It's a hard one, but you know, it's actually this is how it happens. You know, you feel it and then just realizing that you have to take the next action because what's on the other side of fear is going to make you better for you and for others. I believe that's what happens in the exact moment. You know, for example, deciding to do this interview or not. I mean, the doubt of am I good enough to be sharing a story for
Hmm.
others to be inspired by. So that insecurity, for example, is like, okay, don't think about it, just do it. I think that would be like my trick. Just whenever I'm scared of something, I'll just okay, just do it, and we'll think about it later. Just don't think about it. Just jump into it.
Mhm.
And I think that's where most of my fearless decision have come from. Just signing in for coaching, sharing my story, changing who I was day by day, um, getting a divorce, for example, changing jobs, changing a career. All of these moments are fearful. I mean, everything just in your head goes like, oh my God, I'm going to fail. What if it doesn't come the right way? What if I'm hurting others with this decision? So these are moments of fear. But I think it's the fear
Yeah.
of becoming and seeing what's on the other side.
And I think that's what a lot of people need to hear, choosing yourself, even though you're scared sometimes to do something for yourself. And then what you described, then just like, yeah, I'm scared of it, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. I think a lot of people will be inspired by that. What you said, you're scared of.
Hopefully,
People,
I
yeah.
for a long time I believed I was seen like irresponsible or taking too many chances or not thinking things through or running into decisions without thinking about the consequences. But
Yeah.
as I think of it in hindsight, it's what's gotten me to where I am in my journey of personal growth.
Yeah.
So it's not what I think people think of me. It's
Mhm.
at the end of the day what I think of myself by doing what I'm doing. So it takes a lot of reflection. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of self-talk that comes in between that, and it's a journey that never ends. I'm still fearful of a lot of things every single day.
Yeah.
You know, being a mom of teenagers, that's just a new fear creeping in,
Yeah.
right? It's not the same. So just go ahead with it and do it.
Yeah. But it's a very powerful mindset to have. So
Mm.
you're on the right path.
We're getting there.
Yeah. You're
Hopefully.
getting step by step. Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, let me find the line. Why is it important? Guess anything. Wait, did I miss it? Oh, yes. So why is it important? Um, your niche. Why do you think your niche is important this way? Sorry.
I think, you know, I battled a lot with my niche. I remember the first lesson about picking a niche, and I'm like, no, why do I have to pick a niche? This is so hard, right? But I realized as I read it somewhere, everyone was saying it, if you plan on serving everybody, you will serve nobody.
Mm,
So when I had to decide on a niche, I started with women, right? Because as a woman, I know the struggles we go through. And then narrowing it down to motherhood, where I really found my purpose because um, we are not allowed as moms, and this is why I think it's important. We're not allowed, or we don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable and to speak about the challenges that we have. So that's why I'm making of this my mission to
mhm.
tell moms that they are able to speak for themselves, that they don't have to turn their dreams off just because they're moms, and that it is okay to not be perfect. I think kids will value it more having an imperfect mom and realizing that life is not perfect instead of trying to paint a picture that at the end of the day is going to bring more trauma or more struggles for them in the future.
Yeah.
That's why I think the mom niche is super important.
So how do you speak up for yourself?
I'm sorry?
How do you
Go
speak
ahead.
up for yourself then? So what is it like for yourself that you still dream in doing being a mother?
Yeah, it's like having at the beginning it feels like you're living different lives, you know, the coach, the entrepreneur, the mom, the professional. And when you bring it together, and if you're in the stage of your life where mom is like your main activity of the day, I talk to myself in a way of filling myself up in order to be able to be present for them. So that's what I tell myself. If I don't do this for me, if I don't take this time for my personal growth, then I'm giving them out of an empty glass. And we all know how that ends up.
Yeah. Never pour from an empty cup, right? It's
Never. There's no way you can give if you have nothing to give, if you're not constantly refilling it. Because the moments when the cup just starts draining, because it happens every day, you know, you wake up with this energy and during the day things happen. If you don't make a pause to refill that cup for yourself, and I mean for yourself, not from others, I mean just from yourself, that's the best way that you can always be there available for others to take what they need.
that is so true. Amen to that. Yeah. Yeah. And how would you raise, or how do we raise awareness for your specific niche?
Oof, that's a hard one too, because I realized during this journey that we have a very high ego as moms. We don't like to be told how
Mm.
to raise our kids because we're doing the best we can. So
Yeah.
raising awareness, in a moment, it felt like I was going against moms or attacking moms, or whenever I made a comment to someone, it was like, we're all doing the best we can, or I don't need advice,
Yeah.
etc. Right? So it was like a wall, because we all have like this protective wall. So for me, raising awareness, there's no better way than sharing your story
Mm.
and seeing the transformation that you, like, being the evidence that this is not about criticizing a mom or telling her how to do a better job. It's just about accepting that we all need help in whatever niche, career, or stage of our life we're in.
Mm.
Accepting help or learning from others or having a mentor, or yeah, just learning is
Yeah.
part of our daily life. So being a mom also requires a lot of help. And if we're not able to receive it, right, I believe the best way is just sharing your story, being honest about it, authentic. And it's not bragging about your kids, it's about sharing the progress that they have made through your own personal growth and the impact you have on them.
Yeah. It's also very interesting because, I mean, everyone's story is very different, but yet everybody can identify themselves in specific points, like of another person's story. So, like, especially in the topic of like motherhood, they will find themselves, and yeah, just knowing that their story will be unique, but still they can empathize. It's gonna help
Yes.
them. So true. It's
Yeah.
a good approach. That's true.
Yes. Yeah. It's challenging. It's challenging because you're talking to specific challenge, right? It's different from other personal challenges. In this one, you're impacting others' lives directly, right?
Yeah.
As a mom. But what I've discovered with my clients is, yes, you want to be a better mom, but that drive of wanting to be a better mom for your kids makes you go into a journey of self-discovery and healing that goes beyond and before being a mom. It's not just about the job, right? It's about what is it inside of me that I have to heal, and the ripple effect will be I'll be a better mom. But it always comes back to whatever we have to heal inside.
Wow. I love that. So next question. What would you say are common obstacles or challenges women fear in motherhood, and how can they overcome them?
Well, there's plenty of challenges.
Feel-
Culturally, yeah, there's a whole list of challenges. But for me, it's culturally and society wise, we've
Mhm.
been taught and told to do things a certain way. So for me, the first and biggest challenge is break down from the paradigm of how things should be done,
Mhm.
and walk away from the stigma that you are only here to raise your kids to go to a good university,
Mm.
or yeah, just academically, and that will make you, like the best person for them. So it's going against the grain. One of the biggest challenges, like thinking differently from
Mm.
your peers, from your peer moms and your peer women, just thinking different. That's a big challenge. The fact that we are not allowed to be vulnerable, we avoid we prevent ourselves from being vulnerable, even from our own kids. We're not supposed to be vulnerable. We're supposed to be strong. So that's another paradigm that needs to be shifted, because that challenge is what gets moms in the bathroom crying at night by themselves, all alone. And this brings another chain of events, right? Another challenge for me, particularly in this side of the world, coaching and mentoring is not something that is very much popular, right? Here we're raised to be strong. We're a third world country, so it's all about work and surviving, work and surviving. It's never about thriving. So
Yeah.
that's a big challenge, no matter if you're a woman, a mom, or just an entrepreneur. So that um, common mindset that we deal with as Hondurans in this part of the world also makes it harder for people to be open to have a mentor, a coach, or just to look for I don't know, express the way you think. Just expressing it is a big challenge, because you're going to find yourself with 5 or 10 other people that just think alike, and you're going to be the one that thinks different, and that is a challenge.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that's one of the greatest challenges, like generally, but also especially for moms, like just breaking out of the societal norms and just going your own way. What you said, like against the grain, it's so hard then not to have this feeling of being judged for whatever you choose for yourself and for your children. Everybody has their opinions, and I think that takes a lot of courage, a lot of being like fearless,
Yes.
to go against that. That's true. Yeah.
Totally. We all have challenges in all areas of life. I mean, everything is a challenge. But since motherhood, or just talking about awareness, or talking about what we do, it takes a lot of energy to explain why we do what we do, and why we serve the people we serve, and why it is important for all of us to be on a journey of personal growth. Because everybody thinks that you go to school, if you go to college, and then life is over, you're on your own, and you figure it out by yourself. And then a lot of things come up, and then you find yourself like me at 42, trying to build a new path, a new career, trying to inspire others, and in an environment where it's not that common, or you're judged for needing help. I think that's the thing. You're judged for needing help, and that makes it a big challenge for everyone.
But let me assure you, it's a good thing to say whenever you need help. It's one of the bravest things that people can say.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's how you grow, actually. It's also stepping out of your comfort zone. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one of the hardest things, but yeah, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next question would be, is there one tool or strategy that personally helped you in your personal growth journey?
Reading.
Good
Reading. As moms, we have the day like completely organized. You wake up, you wake the kids, you have to do breakfast, you have like in the middle, you get to work, and then back to the kids, back to dinner, back to lunches. So I found that reading was like the perfect excuse for me to have my personal time. Because if I started with, I don't know, meditation or reflection, I will have my kids all over me all the time. So I just started reading out of the need to have 10-15 minutes to myself. So it doesn't matter, whatever you grab and you're doing something, you're reading, it like serves all of the purposes, because you might not get interrupted for 10 or 15 minutes because you're doing something. You're feeding yourself with information, or even if it's just a novel, it doesn't matter. It's just something for yourself. And I say reading instead of scrolling, even though it might be good content. I think the fact of you grabbing a book and getting into those pages, it just brings you a sense of ownership of your time. You are choosing, it's not the content choosing you, is you choosing the book, you choosing the space where to read and have that time for yourself. And that, I assure you, will bring you the next step and the next 15 minutes of whatever it is you need. It may be exercise or meditation or reflection or journaling. For me, it all started with reading. Just grabbing a book, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it will change your life.
I love that. It's a beautiful way to look at reading. Yeah. And I'm just curious, what are you reading right now?
Well, I just finished reading, I have it right now, Unstoppable by Craig Ballantyne. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Might have heard of it, but no, didn't read it yet. Yeah.
I was recently was in a sales, in a coaching sales summit. And we were like competing for gifts, like random gifts. So in the bag that I won just for participating, the book was in it. So I had just finished reading The Alter Ego Effect, and I had nothing else to read. So it's a short book. It's really about anxiety and all the tools to overcome anxiety, and how even though you're successful, anxiety can just ruin your day and your life and your health. So it's about becoming unstoppable through good practices and through having a structure in your life. So it's like giving you a purpose to be unstoppable in whatever it is you do, your business, your career, your family. Just don't let the anxiety kick in, and the tools for you to identify it and face it in a different way. It's a good one, yeah, an easy read.
I will write it down on my reading list.
Yeah, it's a really good book. Yeah.
Yeah. What practical strategies or techniques related to motherhood can help women to get desired results? Yeah, in their daily life.
I'll share mine. I'm sure there's more out there, but for me, is set a time for yourself.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the day. If you can do it at the end of the day, that would be wonderful. I can't do it at the end of the day, but set a time aside for yourself. Wake up 30 minutes earlier and do whatever it is you need to do for yourself. It might be, I don't know, dancing in your living room, or reading a book, or saying your prayers, whatever it is that you can feel it's for you. Set aside 30 minutes for yourself before your kids wake up, because when they're up, the whole agenda changes. So that would be the tool that I would give from them, and have a structure on it, on those 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just don't wake up wondering what should I do, because it could be overwhelming too. But just have a structure in those 30, 45 minutes for you. And you can say, I'll meditate for 10, I'll walk for 20, and I'll read for 15.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how many things you put in there. It's just like a component of the day that's closed and safeguarded just for you.
Yeah.
And that will make you start your day with better energy. You won't be rushing your kids for breakfast or for school. And you can share with them this new refueled energy every morning. Because if we're going to receive the day and our kids with our lowest energy, and putting the snooze button and just waking up, just hurrying everybody up, that would just shift the energy for the entire day. Yeah. So set some time apart from yourself.
So that would be like filling up your cup, right?
Yes, that is my filling up my cup. Yes.
Great. Yeah, I love that. Okay, why is coaching an important tool for empowering women, in your opinion?
Oof. For me, it is the answer. What I love about coaching is the fact that you get to do the powerful, difficult questions that nobody dares to ask. Even if you're in a mom reunion, you're not asking questions about how was your day? How do you deal with your anxiety during the morning? That's not a question we do. So through coaching, I found that it's that personal space for you and another mom to ask the questions that nobody else asks. And for them to open up in a beautiful, beautiful, vulnerable way where they feel safe, not judged, and understood. And having that time to vent, if that's the case, or even just saying or confessing, I don't know what to do. Just accepting that is powerful. And if we can do that through coaching, it opens a whole new life for moms and women.
Yeah, so in this sense, a lot more women need it, and they don't even know about it. They don't even know about the power of coaching, and that's raise awareness. Well, that's true.
Yes, awareness for me at the moment is just raising the awareness is the most important thing. Just realizing that you can ask for help, as you said before.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Can you share a success story of a client who made significant positive changes through life coaching?
Oh, yes. I have a couple. I've coached women who are not moms and also moms, professional moms. And I have this case. Actually, it was my first paying client. I was nervous. She was nervous. She didn't know what she was walking into. And I was trying all my best to be present and be there for her. We signed for a program of 8 weeks. We just did 4, I think. We just did 4. But by the second session, we started with motherhood that ended up in her personal life. By the second session, she had left her husband. By the third session, she had a new job. And she had changed her life by the fourth session. It
Wow.
was so powerful, and I give it to her because she was all there. She was so aware that she could do the change, and it was in her to do it. And one of the things I most remember of her is helping her redefine the characteristics that she was told she was. Like, I am controlling. Is that a bad thing? I'm like, why should wanting control be a bad thing? So it was like destigmatizing all the labels that she had and converting those labels into positive things for her to take control back into her own life. So I'm really proud of her. Yeah, she did an amazing job. Now she lives in another city. She moved with her kid. She has a new and better job where she can provide better for her child. And she's more empowered. And yeah.
And I did understand that correctly, that it was by the fourth session, it was in a course of 4 weeks, or did you have like
She had progress. She had amazing progress every time she came to a session.
yeah. But
And
after
she was
you had a coaching call every week, or was it like every 2 weeks or
no,
something?
we had it every 2 or 3 weeks
Okay.
because she needed to have control of her own sessions.
Yeah.
So it is an 8-week program, weekly calls, but she needed more space for her to accomplish what she committed to. It's really interesting because for her it was like she owned the coaching time and the session. So it was not about the program, it was about her
Yeah.
saying, okay, now I'm ready for my next session 2-3 weeks later. And then she would accomplish another thing in 2 or 3 weeks. And then she would come back with another challenge. And that's how she moved forward.
So I was not in the course of 4 weeks, it was like more, but in total 4 sessions.
Four sessions, exactly. Yeah, 4 sessions.
Oh, but that is so impressive. Like,
Yeah,
you have like a 180-degree change in your life in what, like 2 months? That is
yes,
incredible.
yes. Yeah, I'm really happy for her.
About it.
I'm really happy for her. And of course, it starts with motherhood,
Yeah.
but at the end, it comes back to what you have deep inside to work on. And that will make you fulfilled as a mother.
Yeah.
It's not about being a better mom. I think we are all good moms. We do the best we can with the tools we have. So
Yeah.
it's actually not about becoming a better mother. It's just about being fulfilled with what you're doing with your child. At the same time, you're working on yourself towards your career, toward your own goals.
Yeah. You always should. That's so true. Yeah. Okay. So do you have any fearless women who have inspired you? You
Ooh,
can,
plenty.
yeah. Okay. Maybe you can cut it down to 3.
Yeah. So the first one is my mom. She has always been like my example. For kids, she has gone through a lot relationship wise with my dad, but also professionally. She's 77 now and she still works. She survived COVID. She's the strongest woman I know. She's the most fair person I know. And she taught me everything I know about believing in myself, even though I didn't until recently. But she's that kind of woman that inspires others to be better. So that would be my first one. Well, I have a lot, but Dr. Shefali, for example, is a big example for me as a mom and her parenting techniques. It was actually one of the first courses I received in personal growth was into parenting with her, and that changed my perspective immediately as soon as I started the programs with her, the online programs. And wow, there's so many women. But lately, I've been talking about a lot about artist America Ferrera, the one that acted in Barbie. She's Honduran.
Yeah.
And I just love the way she shows herself authentically as she is. Being a Honduran, of course, there's an instant connection with her, but the way she speaks every time she opens her mouth, there's an inspiration for all of us out there. So she's recently my most inspirational guide. And I'm always like, wow, she could do it. She's from here. I'm not admiring someone from other place, like Oprah or these other wonderful women, but she's Honduran. and she's being herself, and she's having success, and she's transmitting a powerful message too. So she inspires me a lot.
I love that. But also shout out to all the moms, right? Because
yeah, of course. You know, every time I see a mom putting herself second to serve her kids, or putting a career aside to be there and present for their kids, no matter how, I think that's admirable, because only moms know the things that they have to give up, or that they have given up to be there for those little people. So every time a mom is driving someone to school, or just crossing the street, or preparing lunches, that's the most amazing job that you can be doing.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing that. If your life was a movie, what would be the title of it?
I'm all about love, giving and receiving, and I've been on the other end of not knowing how to receive, and lately I've been working on that too, and I think it would be called The Power of Love. I don't know if it exists already, but I believe it's a powerful message, you know, the power of love and how it can definitely change your life, be it giving love to your children, or to your family, or to the people you care about, but also being able to receive it, and how powerful doing both of them can be into your own life.
But I can see, like, just like having this conversation with you, how much you live that message, you know, the power of love, in terms of your own children, in terms of how you want to serve people, in terms of how you present that in yourself. I can really see that. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, I believe, and I'm thinking about my children, right? Because I know that most of the things I do is because I love them. And the way I catch myself trying to reflect before I react, if they've done something I don't like, for example, and knowing that I love them. So it's not about yelling at them to correct an action. Is I love you this much, and this is why I'm gonna say this to you, or this is what we're gonna do. So they're coming up to my mind like, yeah, it's from love, and if we all do it from love, I think just the universe will just be better in an instant.
Always, we all should go from a place of love. It would make the world a better place.
Yes, definitely.
Amen to that. Okay, how do you say, it's like the not last question, but the, is there my English? It's like the question before the last question.
Okay.
Is there a term?
Not that I can remember. There should be a term for that.
That's why.
In Spanish, it's la penúltima, so it works.
Yeah, in Germany we also have like a term for it, but I don't know the English one now. So, but the almost last question, I would say.
Almost.
What advice would you like to give to our viewers?
Well, I would like to say, well, first place, I never think of myself in a place to be able to give advice. But if I could share something or recommend something, it would be, then again, find a place and space for yourself. Get to know yourself once again, because as years go by, we stop knowing who we are. And just start there. And when you re-find yourself, then you will know exactly where you want to go next.
Wow. Beautiful message. Thank you.
Yeah, I believe in that. Just for my own story, as I say, just different things work for different people.
I resonate a lot. So yeah, I hear you. Okay, so now the last question. Where can our audience find you? Do you have any social media accounts or website that you like to share?
Yeah, I've been working in my content in English and in Spanish. So I can go to both segments. Haven't defined it yet, but I'm in Instagram as Lee Ann Lopez W. You can find me there. And I have my website, which is a blog in Spanish and English. around mom topics or just how to live. It's actually learning to live blog. It's leannlopez.com. And in Facebook would be Lee Ann Lopez. That's this.
Okay. Great.
Oh, and I have a podcast too. I didn't remember that. I have a podcast. I've had it in standby because it's so much going on and I want to focus, right? But I started a podcast in Spanish a couple of years ago, and it's called Learning to Live in Spanish, Aprendiendo a Vivir.
Mhm.
And its purpose is to deliver a message on whatever personal growth topic that I might catch during the week. And I have a couple of interviews with a couple of people here from Honduras that are going through that personal growth path as well. And the purpose is to inspire people to live a different life and to challenge themselves with new things. It's on hold right now, but I have a couple of episodes in there.
Right. I would definitely give it a go.
Yeah.
Not
You know,
perfect,
the
but
fear, the fear part that has stopped me.
okay.
I have that in my list.
Okay, so when can we expect a new episode from you?
Ooh, wow, that's challenging. Let's say I'll hold you accountable as
Okay,
my accountability partner. I say we can do before April is done, we can record a new one.
then I'll be the first to listen. I promise.
Okay. Thank you so
That is
much.
not the best, but yeah, I'll try.
Now I'm committed. Thank you. You know, the power of that, I usually don't look for accountability partners because I get scared of not fulfilling the expectations, but it's also a powerful tool
Yeah.
because it's not like they're gonna reprimand you, but
Mhm.
they're gonna remind you that they believe in you. I think that's a powerful part of accountability partners.
That's true. And I also just want to say that I do believe that you have very much to say that the people need to listen to. So I just want to
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
No, thank you, Sophia. And I love the work you're doing with these fearless women. I mean, it's so powerful and so much needed. So thank you, girls, for doing this for all of us and for all the people out there who need just a word of inspiration, just to see how things are changing for the good.
Thank you for participating and thank you for sharing your story. We officially came to the end of our interview. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we close up?
I would like to say, let's be fearless.
Yeah.
There's a whole community out there waiting for us to be fearless and just commit to our dreams, our goals, and just lift each other up.
Yeah. I literally said that in my own interview. Let's be fearless.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
be fearless and let's spread the word. I think that's my main message.
Empower all the women. Yes.
Yes, we need it. We need it.
Yes. So thank you so much for your time and energy today. I loved hearing your story and hosting you today. It was truly an honor. And I'd say we also keep in touch. And yeah, if there is nothing else that you would like to share, just thank you so much for participating, sharing your story. And I had a lot of fun today. So
Thank you, Sophia. Me too. It was really awesome having the conversation. You're awesome, and your energy too. It's just makes the conversation flow so easily. Thank you for asking the right questions. And well, let's keep on being fearless. Thank you so much.
thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a great day.
Thank you.